Okay. Hello, my name is Marquise Appling, and the topic of my speech today is Black History Month shouldn't only be a month. So, what I would start with is by saying that Black History should not only be a month of redundant, ritualistic facts that we just regurgitate every so often. It should be something that you can remember and something that's meaningful. I believe that Black history is American history, so therefore, if we could take the time out to study other things in depth, like things like past presidents, then we can also study things that happen in Black history. So, according to an article entitled Celebration Time, Black history started in 1926. It started in 1926, but it was originally called Negro History Week. And historian Carter G. Woodson created it, and he created it to bring national attention to Black accomplishments in America's technological, scientific, and social advancements. So Woodson chose the second week of February for this because it marks the birthdays of Frederick Douglass and Abraham Lincoln, and both of them were helped establish and contribute to Black empowerment and help them advance in that time in their own way. For example, Abraham Lincoln, he freed slaves. Frederick Douglass was a runaway slave at the age of 20, and he then became an abolitionist. But if you move on 50 years to 1976, Negro History Week eventually came Black History Month, which we now know it as today. But my belief in, I say that the truth is that Black history is American history. And the major accomplishments of all Blacks should be studied on a regular basis, and we should go more in depth. We shouldn't just study the bare minimum of what I believe. We should go more in depth and examine and understand things more thoroughly than what we have done, I believe, in the past. And Black accomplishments should be celebrated and talked about in history books, and Black history is American history, and we study Black history. Let's go beyond and let's go deeper. So throughout this speech, I'm going to talk to you about the history, Black History Month in itself, Blacks in colonial days, and then what we can do to try to change and help make this month more effective. So according to an interview that I saw done by Morgan Freeman on 60 Minutes back in 2010, he asked the question, if Black History Month is in February, then when is White History Month? Or when is any other nationality's History Month? Why, he stated, why relegate my history to only 28 days when we have such historic and potent history? We should go beyond just 28 days. It should be longer, and we should take the time that we should have the time that it needs to take and understand and study this. So the point of it is that I believe that he was saying was, if in school we can study about George Washington, we can study Abraham Lincoln, we can study Thomas Jefferson, then we can also study great Blacks like Ida Wills Barnett or Nat Turner, and we should go in depth and really study their lives with example of a list of other people. And according to an article by the New York Amsterdam News, it states that Black history is American history, and Blacks have been in America since colonial days, but it wasn't until the 20th century that Blacks had a respectable place in history books. Before the 20th century, it was Blacks were in history books to seem inferior or to seem that they weren't as good as their white counterparts. But then when awareness was brought to Blacks, they were then put in the books to help study them. But Black history was first 1 week. Now it's a whole month. But according to another article written by the New York Amsterdam News, it states that Black history should indeed be longer. It shouldn't only be confined to just a week or just a month, but it should be given the proper time for everyone to learn our history. When I say our history, I mean Americans, not just singling out other people or what Blacks should do or what whites should do, but what we should do as a whole to help bring more awareness and study our history. So in conclusion, Black history is American history, and we can all expand on it from being 1 month only. And all we have to simply do is just make the choice to study things and learn things that you haven't known before. Let's not just wait until February comes around. Let's actually take the time out in our own homes to educate our children and educate our friends about what it is that we've learned. And then once you've learned that, pass the information on to somebody else. Help them learn something new if it really affected you. So don't think of it as a burden. Think of it as a time of enrichment and education. And then lastly, according to an article named Post-Black History Month Blues, don't let the month of celebration be a substitute for action on our part, and our meaning America.